TravelWise with Phil Blizzard. News, views and interviews.
On the programme today, I have the pleasure of talking to Sumaira Isaacs, who is the new CEO of the Global Tourism Forum. So nice to have you on the programme with us, and congratulations. How do you feel about it?
Thank you, Phil. I feel very good. It's like visiting Dubai all over again, talking to you, you know.
Okay, so yeah, we want to go into your background and sort of explain your role in the tourism industry, which goes back, 25 years or so. Started very much in Dubai. At the moment, I believe you're based between Dubai and Canada. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct, absolutely, because my family is divided between Dubai and Canada. And so, yeah, I call both the places home.
So we're going to talk about your background in terms of the tourism industry, look at the organization, Global Tourism Forum, pre-COVID, post-COVID, what you're doing to help the industry, and the publishing of the paper, which you did a little while ago. So let's start off. I mean, your career, I believe, started in Dubai with Net Tours, and then you went on to Emirates Group. So what was your role with the Emirates Group, for example, in the late 90s and through to the mid 2000?
Right. So yeah, I started actually in Dubai, but it was much before Net Tours, even in travel agencies. Worked in various travel agencies and all at the age of 16, actually 16, 17, because in those days there were no colleges proper that one could go to. So my sister and I, we did our O levels for British Council, O levels and A levels and all of that. Yeah. Dubai is where is home, and that's where it all started happening for me. And I learned to be who I am today. So I'm completely a child of Dubai. I consider myself a product of Dubai, and it shaped me. It shaped my thinking and how to approach things, and likewise in business as well. So my role in Emirates was that I joined in Arabian Adventures, where in the good old heydays. And there we started setting up a DMC, Destination Management Company, for MICE business. And those were the days when nobody had heard about the safaris, and Emirates had just started flying, and somebody came up with the smart idea of a stopover in Dubai. So we came up with one excursion, and that was to do a safari on top of a dune. And we literally, Phil, in those good old days, we used to roll up our own carpets from our living rooms, marinate the barbecue meat in our kitchen, put some beer and some Coke cans in the cooler, and off we would go with one or two clients on top of a dune, and we would then rent a camel from one of the camel farms and bring them along, and every camel was named Sheila the camel in those days. And that's how I started in Emirates, and I'm very grateful for that time, because that 10 years that I spent with the airline. And they always say about Emirates that you can leave Emirates, but Emirates never really leaves you,
Interesting, interesting. And then you had a bit of a sidestep into the world of art, I believe.
I've always had the sidestep into the world of arts, but actually it started during Emirates, and I started to have my art gallery in Souk Medina. Then I painted and exhibited extensively. I had the gallery for about 7-8 years till I had to pull the plug myself on it, because I couldn't. I realized I'm not a superwoman, and to balance both was getting difficult, and I had to choose one. And unfortunately for my art, which is I chose to continue in this profession.
Yeah. Okay. So regarding tourism, excuse me, I've got a cold today, so we can edit that out. So in terms of your travel and tourism hospitality, I mean, you've had roles like an advisor to the Prime Minister of Pakistan regarding their task force for tourism. So,
well, after Emirates, I worked with the Swiss group for 15 years, nearly 10-15 years, and they with MCI, I'm still a shareholder in the organization, and I stepped back about 3 years ago, and one of the reasons was also I always had this crazy dream. I'm originally from Pakistan,
Yeah.
And a lot of people never really believed that, because I served on all these international boards, and to have a Muslim woman, and that to a Pakistani passport holder, and also to have somebody living in Dubai, serving on all these international boards in Europe, and in industry boards, tourism industry boards, and in US, I was an anomaly, complete anomaly. And people would look at me and say, okay, but you don't cover, you're from these countries, and you don't cover, and you don't, so there were always these misconceptions about Pakistan, about UAE and all. And I've always used to say that I'm in the business of fighting conceptions, being a Muslim woman, and it really, now as I get older, I look back and I say, oh my God, it was really, really prevalent in those days, what it meant to be a Muslim woman. Has it changed down the line? I think there's a little bit more acceptance. It's coming in, but in those days, really, really prevalent. And women like myself who went out in this wild, crazy, wild west world, on their own, that must have been pretty bold. Although at that point we didn't quite realize that we were kind of trailblazers, and there were many like me, but we with different experiences, and that
And it must
experience
mean a
taught
lot
me.
to you to be carrying the flag, so to speak, for Muslim women.
Yeah, and well, we didn't know that, right? I didn't know that I was doing that, but normally it was hard, right? Because people pinpoint you, or single you out, and and you stand up, and there is a prejudice. There is, and mostly it's by other women,